And it's an honor to be here with so many people today to honor Mort and to honor the entire Finkelstein family. And death defies definition. One can sense it, face it, and prepare for it, but not in his own family and not at such an inopportune time. Each death diminishes our inner world. It punctures an essential vessel of our being. It pierces the heart and causes us to probe the very depths of the world. Why now, we ask? Why me? Why one so loved? Because we loved and because we have felt the frustration and sense the sorrow, we cannot help but ask and must help ourselves by admitting to the frustration and the anger and the loss. This memorial service, this dedication of Mort headstone, is an attempt to deal openly, honestly, and if only for ourselves, fairly with what was and is and must be. None of us chooses to be born, yet we come into the world. None of us is quite able to understand why we are loved and how our love can give meaning and direction to another. Yet we give and receive love. Few of us welcome death, but it too is part of life. One cannot bury even a brief life of love or the memory of a caress, and no one has ever buried compassion. These moments call upon us to remember that we yet possess the ability to recall the warmth and the love and the caring and the sharing of the past, that the strength and dedication given us must be perpetuated, that we who have been loved, however briefly, however ineptly, must give love, that what was wonderful and precious is what we must remember as we stand here and honor Mort. I want to share a brief story with all of you, and I know Raleigh will speak in a few minutes. A number of years ago, Shirley and Mort and I went to Israel. And on one of the side trips, we had an opportunity to travel from Jerusalem to Santa Catarina, which is down in the Sinai. It is the shrine of Santa Catarina, or St. Catherine, one of the most holy Greek Orthodox sites in the world. So we were on a bus, Mort, Shirley, and I, or me, and one non-Orthodox Methodist minister. All the other people on the bus were Greek Orthodox pilgrims. And we all went down to Sinai, and we approached the church. And Sinai is not very high, actually. The story's bigger than the mountain. And we went up to the portico of the church, and one of the monks came out and knew the composition of his travelers and asked all the Greek people to come in, and then ask Mort and Shirley and me to sit on the side, and then ask the Methodist minister to sit on the side. And it dawned on the three of us that that was okay, because he was saying that for the Greek Orthodox, they could go into the certain sanctuary parts of the church that were only open to those who were of the faith. And the rest of us would be picked up after that, and everything else would be open to us. It made sense to me, it made sense to Shirley, and it certainly made sense to Mort. It did not make sense to the Methodist minister, because as far as he was concerned, he was being told he was a lesser Christian. I knew I was a lesser Christian. At one point, the monk said, though, but if you sit here, we will bring you Turkish coffee and make you comfortable, and it'll just be a few minutes. Oh, and you see that bush over there? That is the original burning bush. Do not take a cutting of it. Do not try to take it, because it will not grow anywhere else. You know, I don't think any of us had any thought of taking a piece of the bush. We went in, we had the entire tour. We came back on the bus, a couple-hour ride back to Jerusalem. I was leading our tour of the Mort and Shirley and myself. And I said, come on, I'll take you back into the King David. Well, I lost my way, and on my way in, I went through the back, which was where the dumpster been. And there next to a dumpster was a particular bush. And I said, Mort, come here. You got to see this. He said, it's a dumpster. No. You got to see it like a businessman. What is that? It's a bush. I said, what kind of bush? He says, you're going to tell me it doesn't grow anywhere else but here? I said, yeah, that's the same bush. So we got home, and I did great research on how to find one of those bushes that grows nowhere else. And they were available at Frank's. So I have one, and Mort had one, and I bought one for the future chair. I had a third one in the garage, and it became the property of the chair of my board when I was at Aquinas. So we laughed about that for the rest of the trip. I have fond memories, many memories. All of us have fond memories of Mort. With those memories in mind, I asked Rabbi to chant El Malei Ratamim. I got my Nifekin. El Malei Ratamim, Shochen Bameromim, Hametze Menucha Nechona, Tafon, Ansei Ashchina, Im Kedoshim Uteorim, Ezoar Arakim Azirim, Venishemad Moshe ben Yaakov Lech, She'alas Leolamo, Baal Rachamim, Yastireu Beseter Kenafas Leolamim, Vitzror Achayim et Nishmato, Adonai hu nachalato, Ve'yanuach beshalom al mishkavo, Ve'nomar Amen. Compassionate God, eternal Spirit of the universe, grant perfect rest in your sheltering presence to Mort Finkelstein, who has entered eternity. O God of mercy, let him find refuge in your eternal presence, and let his soul be bound up in the bond of everlasting life. God is his inheritance. May he rest in peace. And let us say, Amen. Amen. In the coming of the fall and the changing of the leaves, we will remember Mort. In the falling of the snow and the cold of the winter, we will remember him. In the buds of spring and the early flowers and the fresh green grass, we will remember Mort. And in the summer, when it is warm and humid and beautiful in this part of Michigan, we will remember him. In all the ways in which he was so instrumental, so generous at Temple, in his leadership, in his gifts, in the various ways, the entire Finkelstein family have been so generous to Temple Emmanuel and other parts of the Jewish community. We will remember him. And for the beautification of this cemetery in which he now rests, we are deeply, deeply grateful to Mort for all of the work he personally put in, his own hands, his own time, his own labor. We are deeply grateful. Good morning. Morning. I'd like to thank everyone for coming to Mort's Unveiling, and special thanks to Greg Glasgow for helping beautifying the area. Immediately after the unveiling, everyone is invited to Temple Emmanuel for a luncheon. 4 years ago, we had a party for Mort's 90th birthday, planned a party for Mort's birthday, and then COVID happened. I was going to say a few words, and then this is what happened. Like the patriotic fellow that he was, he had to prove that by being born on the 4th of July. He was always my friend. We talked to each other almost daily.
We agreed on most everything except politics. Even though he liked to be in charge, Ed and I let him think he was, but we always did as we pleased. Mort was a member of the ROTC and then went into the Army Air Corps and was stationed at Chicago Airport. We always teased him about fighting the Battle of O'Hare. When we formed MC Sporting Goods, Mort felt it was his duty to check the quality of the products that we sold. As a result of his belief, he became a hunter, fisherman, golfer, and skier. Mort knew every phase of the business, from drilling bowling balls to mounting skis and straining tennis rackets. This effort of Mort and ours for 32 years resulted in MC Sporting Goods becoming the largest sporting goods retailer in the Midwest, as Ed and I only knew how to open new stores. Mort was not a religious man, but believed in the Jewish faith and what it really stood for. He served as vice president of AZA and was the youngest president of B'nai B'rith in Grand Rapids. He also served as president of Temple Emmanuel and was on the executive board. He was on the national board of the URJ for 28 years. About 8 years ago, Peg suggested they needed someone to take the responsibility of running Temple Emmanuel Cemetery at Oak Hill. Of course, who other than Mort? Helping him adapt, Megan worked teaching him the history of Oak Hill. She had already worked for several years updating cemetery and military veteran records. He will be dearly missed and remembered by his wife Peg, his children Deb, David, and Megan, and all our extended family members. It's difficult for all of us to move forward. Mort was all about family. May he rest in peace. I love you forever. Amen.
And
Cheers.
Life is a succession of suns and seasons. It is time spent growing, grasping, and giving. It is warmth and wonder, cold and confusion. Life is love lost. Life is heartache moderated by happiness. Life is an uncharted journey from nowhere to anywhere. Life is pain, life is passion, life is loneliness, it is love. Life should be unending. What of the lives not lived, the labors left, the wishes whispered, and the words unspoken? We, the living, are the loved. We, the living, are the dreams fulfilled. We are the promises of what has passed and the fashioners of what is to come. Through us the past lives. Upon our children and our children's children, our future rests. Kaddish is for the living. It is our verbal response to the surrounding greatness of life and love. It reminds us of a warm past and challenges us to perpetuate this warmth in the generation to come. We remain to prevail. And that's the same and the same. Yikadal, the Yikada, Shimeraba, the Almandibra, Firute, the Amlik Malfite, the Firephone, the Yomephone, the Fire made, I'd tell Bisrael, the Agala, these man Kari, the Indru Almain. The Heshmera, the Barak, Ulan, Umaye, Almayat, Yit Farak, the Yishtabak, Yit Baar, the Yitramam, the Yitlase, the Yitadar, the Yitalev, Yitalal, Shemade, the Pradisha, the Wisu. Let Elam in cold beer fata the Shivata, Tushpefata the Nefimata, Ta'amiran the Alma, the Anu Ame. Hey Shalama, Rabam in Shemaya, a Fayima Laniuvial, Coin Israel, the Amru Ame. Osei Shalom Bimromav, Huya Osei Shalom, Aleni Biol Kol Yisrael, Elio Almighty. May the one who creates peace and health on high grant peace and health to all of us. Peace to Mort Finkelstein. Amen.
Amen. Finkelstein.
Yes, there are stones, and if you would like to place a stone on, it would be a sign of respect and that you've convinced.
What? Don't raise the stone. Someone thanks to you. Okay, fine. Grab a stone.
Yes.
All right. There are stones here if you would like to put some on either of the headstones. The best way to go back to temple from here, when you leave the cemetery, turn left, right on Eastern, follow that all the way down to Fulton, turn right, and go all the way down to temple.